So I'm going to show you a cool trick to learn the notes on the fretboard. Now, this video does assume that you have some area of some knowledge of the fretboard itself. But if you were like me, you still may have trouble finding notes throughout the fretboard. So this is a cool trick, one of many, many tricks. And the first thing you should know is the notes on the E string and the low E string and the high E string, and then the same. All the notes I'm going to say are the only notes that we use on the fretboard. And so it's E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and it repeats. And then you start the scale all over again. So the thing to remember is that the notes, most of the notes are made up of fourths except for one part. So if you go from E to the next string, you count 4. E, F, G, A. All right, because it starts over. So the second string is an A. And then when you go from A, B, C, D, that's a D. And then you go from D, E, F, G. Now here's a weird part. Well, maybe not weird. From G to B is the third. So G, A, B. And then it goes back to fourths. So B, C, D, and then E. All right, so how does this work? Well, how does this work? But when you get to the 5th fret, I'm just going to show you how this works out. So the 5th fret, that's an A, and you count 4. The next note is a D, and you count 4. And the next note is a G, and you count 4. And the next note is a C, and then you count a third, and that is an E, and then you go back to fourth, which is an A. I hope that helps. Thanks for hanging out with me this morning. Y'all have a great day.